tell you just some of the rhetoric that they're using. One is that many believe that in order to preserve our democracy, wait a minute, we don't have a democracy. We have a republic, and there is a big difference between a democracy, which our founders called a mobocracy, and a republic. And so the republic is the one where the voters are informed and cast their votes accordingly, and are participants as informed citizens. Well, some are saying, though, that we are losing our government. It has stalled. They use that term, stalled. And so then they come forth with statements like, well, we must redress the grievances, and we need a redress of grievances petition. And that petition has got to be developed through the states, and we've got to rewrite the Constitution. And you know what? They even claim that we can have a constitutional convention and limit it to only one issue. And so with that introduction, let's see what some of the scholars have to say about this very issue. Has the time come to rewrite the U.S. Constitution? Is the Constitution? Thank you. You've already jumped ahead to the very end. All right, but let's see what is being said so that we can help our neighbors understand this and those who are coming forth new into this whole process. And excuse me, when I transferred this onto JPEG after putting it in a different program on my Apple computer, you know how that works. But I think we can see this. CON is a shortened version of saying Constitutional Convention. But there are many reasons why people today are coming up with, some of them pretty good reasons, why we might need a constitutional amendment. Or maybe get rid of one of those. Like, how about the 16th and that income tax? Wouldn't that be great to get rid of that? Well, there are some, though, who say well, remember when George W. Bush signed that silly law called McCain-Feingold? And he says it's unconstitutional, so I'm going to sign it. Wait a minute. You're the president, and so why are you signing a bill that's unconstitutional? Well, he went ahead and signed it because he thought the courts were going to overturn it. But they didn't, did they? And so it was already stifling our free speech. And then there are many who are concerned about the Second Amendment, and rightfully so. As a matter of fact, I was a member of the Republican National Committee for a while, and I passed a resolution. It actually passed unanimously within that body because I said, you know, to come through the state legislatures to do away with our Second Amendment right, don't see that happening. To go through the Congress, the United States Senate, United States House, and do away with the Second Amendment, don't see that happening. But guess where it is happening? When you have a president, Barack Hussein Obama. Hussein! Love to say that. Because you know what? It was not proper to say that for so long, was it? You know? But now we know the guy sure does act like that, doesn't he? He acts like a Muslim. He takes off his shoes and he celebrates Ramadan and all the rest of it. So, hey, if it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it just might be a duck. But anyway, so what about the Second Amendment? Well, what's happening is that Barack Hussein Obama has told, this is so sickening to say this, Hillary Rodham Clinton, our Secretary of State, to participate in a United Nations meeting concerning gun rights. And so it is not a direct approach, it is an indirect approach through the UN. And then you get these lousy United Nations meetings and their treaties that come out of that. And then the president knows this will never make it through the Congress, so I will just implement it by executive order. And that's how we have so many communities that are sustainable communities. And this was a bit of a conversation we had around the dinner table tonight. Don't get me started on sustainable development, folks. It is the Marxist taking of property. That's what it is in a nutshell. But I sat about 10 feet away from David Rockefeller in Johannesburg one day at a meeting. I told my husband, I said, I hope his stuff doesn't rub off on me. But after this meeting, this 4-hour meeting, everybody was supposed to bow their heads and close their eyes. And I said, I ain't doing that, but I'm going to look around these fools and see what they're doing. And they did. And then afterwards, they were supposed to go to microphones and tell everybody what sustainable development looked like. And not one person could explain it. It is a Marxist taking of your property and your freedoms. All right.